this is Carlo 4GQ here at Anime St. Pete. I'm here with Max, also known as Paladin Print Works. If you ever need custom stuff, this is the guy you want to come talk to because he can make it happen, especially in Florida. But yeah, we're standing behind or in front of one of his...
The claim to fame, if you will. That's what I would say about it. So this was kind of the first large-scale cosplay project I have ever done. I love everything about it. It is very near and dear to my heart. I cannot wait until this goes into storage forever. If you haven't picked up, we're in Florida. Armor builds like this don't work the best in Florida, but I do have some things that might fare a little bit better than the weather. We're gonna head down this way. I want to take a brief second to stop right here. This is the helmet from the criminally underrated Disney film, The Rocketeer. Now, why is this special? This is the first prop that I ever made. I am very, very sentimental about this piece. I have learned so much since I made this, but it is very near and dear to my heart. To kind of show where we have gone since then, we have this battle-damaged Hylian shield. This is kind of special as well because, as mentioned, I do a lot of commission work. This started as a failed print. This entire bit here just didn't end up working out. The whole thing fell over. We ended up turning this into what might actually be my favorite prop of all time. It led to a completely new cosplay of a fallen hero, sort of Ocarina of Time Link, where the Triforce has abandoned him. Love the resin finish we did on this. That was provided by the incredibly talented Nilla Cosplay. And yeah, love this thing very much. But we're gonna set this on down. Speaking of Nilla Cosplay, one of the pieces that I have contributed to her in collaboration is gonna be this stunning dagger or spearhead from Princess Mononoke. Now, believe it or not, this is also originally a 3D print. I know it's a little bit hard to tell because this looks like kind of chipped stone. She did a fantastic job with the weathering on this. She did all the little bits of detail paint on the inside. We actually did kind of mimic the carving that this would take with that 3D print. Big fan of this one. I know she is as well. You can see a little bit more of the cosplay there with her Mononoke mask. We know she loves that. And finally, a few more pieces that I have contributed to her side of things. If you take a look at this absolutely stunning Zelda Twilight Princess cosplay, I cannot take credit for the sewn elements. That is for the actual experts, but I can take credit for the printed elements. All of the hard pieces. And yes, they are printed. We do our best to mimic that kind of soft look of foam. Traditional 3D printing props have this really angular look that I don't really like the look of. So we try and avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I'm looking at the detail on this. The sewing is amazing.
Top notch. She's very talented.
The armor looks like, when you look at this, you can see the shine off it in a sense, and it looks like it's real.
Absolutely. That's what we're always going for. And we're trying to always bridge that gap between realism and fantasy. And we found pretty quickly that you can go too far in one direction. If you make something look too real, it loses some of that soul to it. So we like to figure out where that balancing act comes in to give you something that has life, has a story that it's telling without any words at all. And we love it.
And speaking of Rocketeer, I can't help but notice this jetpack over here.
Oh my goodness. So we had this on display a little while ago. Eagle-eyed fans of the series, all three of you, might notice there's a little bit of residue here, and you'll notice that the gum is missing. We don't know where it went. It's gone. It was there, and we're going to make some repairs to this and get that back out with the helmet in the very near future.
Wow, and for DC fans, it looks like there's a Harley mallet?
Yes, this was something that Nilla also made. We love upcycling waste. So this is made up of filament spools for 3D printers, and I honestly don't know where that leg came from. I think it was from like a miniature like end table, something. Not too sure. We love upcycling though.
That's epic. Now, I do want to go down to here.
Of course.
Because I was looking at this yesterday.
Sure, we'll bring
I
this
was
one up here.
obsessed with this little Pokemon headpiece that you made for Nilla.
Yes.
And if people look at it, it looks fossilized, realistic, and it's got like the wear and tear you'd think it would have if it was sitting out in the wild.
Absolutely. This was kind of one of those happy accidents like the shield. Originally, we were going to do a really clean bone look, and you'll notice we have a seam running along here and a seam running along here because this was dropped by one of the individuals that came by our booth a couple conventions ago. Completely fine that happens. We expect it when we hand these props off to people, but we decided to, with the repair, convert this into a really kind of gritty, beat, fossilized appearance. And this also ended up becoming part of one of her most favorite cosplays. She does a humanoid Cubone. We've got the club down there as well to match.
Wow, it's just so detailed. Everything that you do is detailed.
We try. Like I said before with the armor over here, our entire goal is to bring life and story to these pieces without a single spoken word.
And I want to go down to, first of all, I got to talk about these real quick because you look at these and you feel like that this is going to be like a steel end plate or some type of brass end plate, right, like a metal. But it's all 3D printed.
It is, all 3D printed. This is an interesting one. These are Vander's gauntlets from Arcane. And just like I mentioned before with telling a story, we have some of this more cartoonish blood look. We have a tooth that makes no sense being embedded in the metal, but I love little details like that. We have plates over repaired bits. And fun fact about this, we made both of these gauntlets in 2 days. It was a bit of a rush job and ended up being one of my favorites.
And you got another project coming up that you're working on.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this one's a little bit special. Just like the armor from before on my mannequin is from World of Warcraft, so too is this. I'm a huge Warcraft fan. This is going to be Anduin from the Battle for Azeroth cinematic specifically. This is printed in one piece, as is the chest plate that we have down there. Whenever we appear at shows, we make a point to bring parts that are not finished, so you can see that kind of midway point, if you will. So this hasn't been completely surface prepped, obviously hasn't been painted, but someday soon we are hoping to have this finished and just as stunning as the Judgment Paladin armor we looked at a moment ago.
And then I just want to show this off real quick so people can see the detail on the work that you do.
I will take that from you. There we go. This is a pretty hefty piece, also printed in one solid piece.
And that's an idea of the big printer he has because
Yes.
this is like, to me, this feels like industrial printing, like it's epic.
It kind of is. I can't go into talking about the model of the printer. It's kind of a Frankenstein build, but originally it started with an Elegoo Orange Storm Giga frame that I had to hack apart, and we kind of Frankenstein two of them together. I've got a lot of space. I can print 4 of these at the same time and have plenty of vertical room left to go. They actually print upside down, so you can imagine the amount of supports that have to come along with this. It's getting pretty hefty, but it's well worth it, I think.
And there's another piece I want to talk about because I just saw this today. I didn't see this yesterday. But this
very nice.
is 3D printed.
It is. It is.
And it feels like you would think it's chain link when you look at it.
Right. So this was all printed in one piece, 22 feet of unbroken chain. We found that if we paint the entire thing this uniform silver color that you see on one side but not the other, it doesn't look right when it's in motion. So we painted one side silver and one side this much darker black, and when it's being spun, it gives a really nice impression of speed that isn't actually in place because we can't really whip this around in a crowd. But yeah, this is all, again, made to mimic realism. I love the hammer finish that we used on the Morningstar head to give it this kind of deep pitting look. Gives it a lot of age without putting a whole lot of work into it. If you have not used hammer finish paint in your workflow and you want this kind of aged look, you need to give this a try.
Awesome. Yeah, every time I come to your booth, every time I see you guys at a convention now, like I look forward to seeing your pieces. And here at Anime St. Pete, you guys are part of the judging.
We are. I've done some judging of a few competitions, both myself and Nilla. I have had the absolute honor of judging the Journeyman and Masters Craftsmanship competition that happened yesterday. Some amazing talent coming through there. And as we're talking, the Novice competition is actually taking place right now. And this is a wonderful group of conventions through Florida Comic Cons. If you ever have the opportunity to come out this way, you should give it a try. We would love to see you here.
And definitely, if you see Paladin or Nilla, come up and talk to them. You can ask them cosplay questions. There's just so many things that you can learn in cosplay from other cosplayers that have experienced it, went through the torment of failing a couple things.
Absolutely.
They give you advice on how to succeed, and you don't have to be perfect. That's another thing I think is important too, because there's some pieces that started out and it wasn't perfect, but you wouldn't notice. Like somebody like me would not notice.
Right.
Somebody with eye detail would notice, like like another cosplayer, maybe your 3D printer.
Definitely.
But I can't notice just from looking at this.
Yeah, so if you couldn't tell, we really like leaning into that kind of aged aesthetic. We like the battle damage. And something like this was originally a commission of a print failure here. So rather than having this go to waste, we decided to paint this up real quick. This whole thing took, about an hour. So real quick turn on this one. Just wanted to kind of see as far as we could take it in such a minimal amount of time.
Awesome. Well, Max, I want to thank you for your time.
Of course.
Showing me your booth. And I can't wait to see you guys at the next convention. And I hope to see some Blizzard cosplayers wearing your pieces in the future. I'm so excited for that.
I can't name names, but I can say that some of the major Blizzard cosplayers that you're seeing out there are wearing some elements that came from me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your convention.
Thank you as well. Have a wonderful rest of your day.